Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13 is a verse that has sparked significant discussion and debate surrounding its interpretation and application. This verse is part of the Old Testament, specifically in the book of Leviticus, which contains laws and instructions given to the Israelites by God through Moses. It reads, "If a man lies with a male as with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood is upon them." The verse addresses same-sex relationships, making it a focal point in discussions about homosexuality and religion. The language used in the verse is unequivocal and carries a severe penalty for the act described. It categorizes same-sex relations as an abomination, a term used to denote something detestable or morally repugnant in the eyes of God. To understand the meaning behind Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13, it is essential to consider the historical and cultural context in which it was written. The book of Leviticus was written thousands of years ago to a specific community with its unique beliefs and practices. At that time, ancient Israelite society held strict laws and practices regarding relationships and sexual behavior, which were seen as crucial for maintaining the purity and integrity of the community. In this context, Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13 reflects the moral and religious beliefs of the ancient Israelites regarding sexual ethics. The verse is situated within a broader set of laws that regulate various aspects of life, including dietary restrictions, purification rituals, and guidelines for societal conduct. The prohibition against same-sex relations in Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13 is part of a larger framework of laws aimed at preserving the religious and cultural identity of the Israelite community. The verse's language and prescribed punishment stem from the belief that same-sex relations are contrary to the natural order established by God and violate the sacred covenant between God and the Israelite people. The severity of the penalty reflects the gravity with which the ancient Israelites viewed this transgression and underscores the importance of upholding God's commandments. It is important to note that interpretations and applications of Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13 have evolved over time, and different religious traditions may approach this verse from varying perspectives. Some religious communities adhere strictly to the literal interpretation of the verse and consider same-sex relations as sinful and deserving of condemnation. Others interpret the verse within its historical context and emphasize the cultural norms and beliefs of the ancient Israelites, while considering how these teachings may apply to contemporary society. In modern times, many scholars and religious leaders advocate for a nuanced understanding of biblical passages like Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13, taking into account advancements in scientific knowledge, ethics, and human rights. They argue that the cultural and historical context of the verse should be considered alongside broader principles of love, compassion, and inclusivity found in religious teachings. This approach seeks to reconcile traditional beliefs with contemporary understandings of human sexuality and relationships. Ultimately, the interpretation of Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13 and similar verses is a complex and multifaceted issue that continues to provoke discussion and reflection within religious communities and society at large. Understanding the meaning behind these ancient texts requires careful consideration of historical context, theological teachings, and ethical principles, as well as a recognition of the diversity of beliefs and perspectives that exist within religious traditions.